I don't have second edition, but I know that you still kept rolling your characters when you were playing second edition D&D, and it looks like even third edition D&D still stuck with the idea of rolling your characters. I never played fourth edition, so I can't speak to that one, but I think it was actually introduced into fifth edition that you could use points to create your character instead of rolling them. And like I've said before in the other videos, either way is kind of cool, and especially the idea of you got whatever birth thing you were given. There's no engineering, there's no designing, there's no help. You have what you have, and you need to make this character a hero regardless. And so you're going to find that you're going to be doing some different adventurous things. I mean, when you had only 4 points, or maybe 1 hit point as a wizard, you sure didn't get into the mix with things. And you sure hoped that your fighter friend could take the goblins down, and you could maybe throw one little quick zap in there, and then you'd be out of spells. And so that was part of the problem that came from rolling characters. Now, I really personally prefer the idea of building the characters and using a balanced attributes and things like that, or a balance of them, to make it so your character is a little more viable in a adventuring world. Because there are some people who, yes, some of the best stories are those lowly people who get dragged into an adventure whether they want it or not. I mean, even though Bilbo Baggins was pretty well off for a hobbit, he didn't want to go on the adventure, and he was drug into the adventure, and that says something. So when you're looking at your character's stats, just their base stats on what you build everything else, you do start still in all the D&D stuff. You're still starting with strength, dex, con, intelligence, wisdom, charisma. And those 6 stats are pretty ubiquitous throughout a lot of other role-playing games as well. And there are other games that have reduced that. I mean, there's the 3 stats of like Big Eyes, Small Mouth. There's just the 1 stat of XDM, or maybe 3 stats if you go for the advanced XDM. But the original XDM, the original rules for it were just 1 stat. That was your stat that did everything. And it's kind of the stats that you have like in Lasers and Feelings, which is a fun little free RPG you can get online. But I like the idea that certain things start getting pulled out as games evolve. So this has been a fun thing to be able to roll your stats, but it's even more fun when you can just create the character as an adventurer who can possibly survive the first encounter.